Scorpios, May 2019 channeled message from Spirit followed up with a Horoscope, so you make the most out of this month. Scorpios. Heart chakra and throat chakra opening. Many of you are experiencing some level of pain, anguish, hurt, betrayal. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to me? Why are you allowing this to happen to you? Many of you don't yet know how to speak up for yourself, don't yet know that you can say no. You're unaware that you have different choices. We're going to share a story from one of Kelly's one-on-ones. She was going through some turmoil with an employee who kind of backstabbed, kind of betrayed, she was sent to represent the company on a company trip and get trained, and then ended up asking them if they needed help and if she could work for them. The pain, the disrespect, the what? And then over here, she talked about when she first met her, she was disrespectful. She would always talk back. You cannot blame that employee for this second action. You knew what type of person that was from the get-go. Disrespectful. She was simply being her with the second action too. Disrespectful. Are you, Scorpio, going to sit here and be in the pain and the anguish of this story? Are you going to go and take that look at yourself, that inner look within you? What part of you is attracting this behavior? What part of you doesn't feel comfortable to just say, the first time this person talks back, hey, that kind of behavior is really not acceptable here. This working relationship is not going to work out. Let's go ahead and end this now. Many of you think it's evil to fire someone. Many of you, I can never do that. How would she pay her baby? You're allowing that treatment. We invite you to, what do I fear will happen if I ask my boss for a pay raise? What do I fear will happen if he doesn't give it to me? What do I fear will happen if he gives it to me? What do I fear will happen if I speak out against the tiger mom on the PTA? What do I fear will happen if I say no to my mother? What do I fear will happen if I say yes to my mother? What do I fear will happen if? And then ask yourself follow-up questions. What if I get it? What if I don't get it? What if I fail? What if I succeed? If I succeed, what am I afraid of happening? What do I think I'll have to get rid of? Scorpios, you got to do that inner work. Just ask yourself that question. You could journal it. You could talk about it. Ask those questions because you have a choice. Are you going to sit here the rest of your life and live in the pain, the anguish, the misery? Why are people treating me so poorly? Are you going to willing to temporarily feel a little bit worse, to dig deep into the old memories, the old thought patterns that are creating this mistreatment so that you can release them and live a happier life? The choice is yours, and this is a very pinnacle month for you guys. We invite Kelly to pull 3 cards and then her usual spread. Okay, so it looks like there's definitely something on your mind, Scorpio. There's definitely something on your mind. There's definitely something that you really want to communicate, okay? So if you guys need any help with this, you can just type in like throat chakra chant, throat chakra opening meditation on YouTube, and find one of those out there, because it looks like you really want the communication. You want to start picking up the pace on a project. However, you're not allowing yourself to grow to become the person who's willing to speak up. Your mind is completely focused on what's wrong, everything that could go wrong. If they don't give it to you, then that says something about you, but it doesn't. I know a lot of my clients who have had a hard time asking for a pay raise. They go, well, if my boss doesn't give me the pay raise, then they're going to think I'm greedy. They're going to think I'm a bad employee. They're going to think I'm not trying my hardest. And they don't think I'm a good employee. Okay, that's this card, focusing on everything that could go wrong, all the reasons why it can't happen. Instead, become the new person. Allow the shift to happen. Get out of everything that could go wrong. That's why Spirit gave you that practice of what do I fear will happen if. Be willing to become the new person who's, hey, I've done a salary survey and I've noticed that I'm a little bit behind in compensation. for fair market value, what can we do to close that gap? Is there anything? It's really not in our budget right now. That says nothing about you. The company put aside a budget for this role. If it's below what you want, if you allow yourself to become the new person, you're empowered to go fix up your resume, go apply for another job. Apply this to your situation, whatever it might be. It might be maybe you're afraid to ask girls out. What if she rejects me? What if I'm made fun of? Are you going to become the guy who recognizes that there's a million fish in the sea? You can just keep asking until you find one that likes you and you like her back. Allow yourself to become the new person so that you don't just stay stuck and stagnant and living in the what if game, in the what if world. So for those of you who are new to me, I always like to pull your soul level lesson, your human level lesson. Why is it all coming up? And then I like looking at your past, your present, your future. And then we do a little glance in your love. We do a little glance in your business for my business owners, business money. And then spiritual growth. I've noticed one or two of those tends to have a lot of messages for you and one doesn't. Okay, so it definitely looks like, so for you, wow, you want to move on from something. You want to move on. I'm not seeing like ending cards here. I'm seeing a strong 10 of water reverse coupled with the 8 of water crossing it. So your soul level lesson, your soul is really kind of like trying to say, wake up, Scorpio. You need to recognize that you're not happy. You need to recognize you're not happy. You need to recognize you're not getting the kind of love. This is definitely it's really about love. It's either with a lover, romantic partner. It's about how your family's treating you. It's about how friends are treating you. Your soul is like, wake up. You're not happy. And guys, what happens there? A lot of times with my one-on-one clients that I have, and I will have an opening for one-on-one work in June, and I will have 2 openings for my group program. It's just depending if you like working one-on-one better or in a group program better, completely up to you. What can happen is you get afraid of, if I leave this friendship, I won't have any friends. And that's what keeps you stuck from moving on. That's what keeps you sticking around in relationships where you don't feel uplifted. How do I say this? All right, let's kind of do a little start over. Your soul is yearning to like wake up, admit you don't feel good. Some area of your life you feel horrible in and you're trying to ignore it. A lot of law of attraction followers, a lot of my one-on-one clients, you got to think the better thought. You got to think the better thought. You guys first have to identify where you're at. What do you honestly feel? Do you feel miserable? I feel lonely and miserable. I feel underpaid. I feel underappreciated. Sometimes they try to switch to the good thought too soon. You got to admit where you're at. You feel fucking miserable, Scorpio. Because then what can happen? Then you'll be able to hear your human, your soul, your inner being, your spirit guide, whatever you want to call it. Because you have a desire to move on from something. You either have a desire to leave a relationship. I don't see the ending cards like a breakup, but I see the desire to break up, the desire to leave a work relationship. You have the desire to end something. Right now, you're ignoring, because it's reversed, you're ignoring the fact that you're miserable. You gotta admit, I'm miserable. Same thing, like, it kind of applies to debt too, guys. A lot of my clients, when they come to me for debt, we first have to feel, how does it feel to have 60,000, 120,000 in debt? What does that feel like? And you gotta fully feel how horrible that feels, because then you're empowered to do something about it. Because the reason why this is coming up, well, you kind of gotta admit that there's an area of your life that is not, you honestly feel miserable. Combo of these 2 cards, you feel miserable. Your human level lesson is like learning when to move on. 2 of fire, that's you want to start a new direction. You've kind of started feeling a little bit more confident. Now you want to like act on it. So you're starting to like kind of wake up, feel reinvigorated for you to actually be able to move on. But you kind of got to admit that you're miserable. I had a client who was like married to a suicidal guy for like 20 years. And she thought the reason why it was so hard for her to move on is because she thought, no, it means I'm a good wife if I stay with him. It means it means something about me by doing this action. Guys, that's called ego, and you got to cut that out. It doesn't mean you're a good wife or a bad wife. if you stay with someone or don't. I also have a client who's in an abusive relationship. But I need to read more books because if I just read at least one more book, then I could say I turned every stone. And I'm like, honey, he's pulling your hair and smashing you into walls. Why do you need another book to try to fix it? To try to prove to other people that you tried your hardest to fix that relationship? That's called your ego. You got to get over that, guys. Got to get over that. Oh, so sorry, Scorpio. Sorry, whatever's going on in your life for that. Comment below. Let me know what's going on. I'm kind of curious. So if some of you were looking for a sign, is it time to move on, time to break up? You're getting your sign. It might not, I don't see the ending cards that are saying it's over, you're actually going to go through it, but the sign is there that you need to start decoupling. You need to start separating your finances. You need to start looking for where you're going to live next. You need to start getting prepared for it. All right, because it looks like in your oh yeah, guys, whoa, hey, your future card. There's a glimmer of hope. Okay, so it looks like in the past you got the Two of Air reverse. So that's the Three of Air, excuse me, Three of Air reverse. So that is like the heartbreak card. That is the card where you just feel like, whoa, that like came out of nowhere. I'm sad. I'm devastated. It can be those moments where you like, you meet someone and you fall head over heels and you're like, oh my God, they're the one. And then like 3 months later, you're like, holy fuck, they're horrible. They are horrible. They're horrible. And that's where you like feel utterly devastated. Because if you hadn't jumped to that conclusion that like they're the one, you wouldn't have fallen so low. So there's something that you kind of built expectations up, set expectations up, and then it didn't go through as planned and you feel devastated. So feel the hurt, feel the pain that you're going through, process, feel your emotions. And then the quicker that you can get to disappointment, because anytime there's like a broken expectation, it can feel devastating. If you can get to allow yourself to get to disappointment, man, I just feel disappointed. I thought he was the one. I feel disappointed. I thought my boss was for sure going to give me a pay raise. I feel disappointed. Because it looks like right now, dude, whatever happened, it's kind of shaken your confidence. This can be that moment for some people where you stop doubting your intuition. And what that means, guys, is sometimes your intuition, when it guides you, a spirit guide when it guides you, your inner being from a law of attraction follows, when it guides you, it doesn't mean that it is the exact answer to your manifestation, the exact end goal answer to your prayer. Sometimes it's the journey of getting ready to be getting ready to be getting ready to be getting ready. So this can be like for business owners, if you launched a program because you got that inspired idea and you launched it, no one signs up, that can really broken expectation and like it's shaking your confidence in yourself. Am I even on the right path? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Maybe the launch was just to help you learn how to write sales copy. The journey of getting ready to begin ready to begin ready to begin ready. It's like, okay, this step wasn't my end goal, like a sold out program or buku bucks, whatever it was. But I learned sales copy. I learned how to say it on videos. I learned all of this. Let's take the next step now. So guys, don't get stuck and feeling betrayed. Don't get stuck in that place of doubting your intuition. It's knowing that they're always guiding you to your next step to get there. The more that you can be in the place of, here's not the silver lining as in happy, happy, joy, joy, but the silver lining that, okay, here's what I can now do that I couldn't do before. What's my next step? Because I need that end result now. I need the money to pay my rent. So this wasn't the way that my rent got paid, but I needed to learn that for the next step. The more that you can like kind of bask in the knowledge you gained, the more that you stay in the flow instead of, and then you stagnate. All right, guys? Because it does look like a little bit in the future. So some of you might, if it was like a breakup or fight with a person, there's going to be, I don't want to say forgiveness, but there will be a little bit of like coming together and understanding where everyone was coming from. Like, oh, that's how you meant it, babe. That was your intention. For those of you who it's not that, there's just a glimmer of hope for you. It's like you are very likely going to turn the new leaf. And that new leaf for you is really learning how to value how you are treated, Scorpio. You have got to learn how to recognize when something is not working out for you anymore and move on. That is your whole lesson this month. What is a no to you? What is a yes to you? Is this person a no, as in they're not treating you how you want to be treated as a friend? Then you've got to learn to close that door so that the new doors open for the friends who you feel good around. Is the toxic work environment not working out for you? You've got to learn to like walk away to allow something new to come in. And it looks like you're definitely going to make some headway on that this month because you got the Two of Water and the outcomes. Let's go ahead and let's specifically look at love now. Okay, you got the King of Water and the outcome. So it definitely looks like that this is definitely a month of like you growing. I don't want to say coming into your own, but it's kind of like you recognizing that love can feel positively uplifting, recognizing that love can feel more fulfilling. Love isn't necessarily about actions like, well, he bought me a sandwich, that means he loves me. It's more about like a feeling of safety and security. They love you. A feeling of safety and security of we're approaching life as a team. We're teammates. So you're really going to kind of come full circle and kind of start really defining what does love mean to you? What do you value in love? What do you value out of a teammate? What's the type of person that you would actually like to marry? Because you know, for my ladies who are watching this, for the guys, you could apply this to yourself too. There's like, there's those guys who are hotties, but they would make horrible fathers. You're kind of coming into your own in the sense of, oh, I need a guy who would be a great father, a guy who would be a great husband, and knowing that you can have that and the hot sex. So you're kind of recognizing like you can have it all. Okay, so it definitely looks like there's a little bit of a delay in communication. There's a little bit, yeah, you got the Page of Earth reverse followed by the Seven of Earth. So there's either delay in communication, and it might be because you both are just kind of playing the waiting game, who's going to call first, or it could generally be they're like out on a work trip, or it can just be maybe you're the one busy for 2 days doing something. There's a delay in communication though, but it's kind of like there's a delay in communication. It can also be that you haven't taken the next step in the relationship, as in the sense that maybe you haven't yet, maybe you haven't gone on that first date yet because the other person is like doing their finals this week. A delay in communication. You're not quite getting what you want, but don't worry, the seeds are well planted. So you haven't taken that next step to either go on the first date or to become monogamous or to like cross the line to get married or to go take your first 3-day weekend getaway or to, have your first like conversation about us and what do we want for the future. So it looks like there's a delay in communication. You haven't yet taken that next step in commitment, but it's kind of like, don't worry, the good stuff is coming. King of Water's the outcome. Use this time right, because this is kind of the card of like, be patient. You plant a seed in the ground, keep watering it. Eventually it's going to sprout. Just because you don't see it sprouting yet doesn't mean it's not going to sprout. So it's kind of like the don't worry card. It's just time isn't right yet. Use this time right now to really sit and define, what do you value out of a boyfriend? What do you value out of a girlfriend? What do you value? What do you think a relationship is like? What do you think are the important aspects of it? What do you feel? It's kind of like money, guys. Some people value money so they can go out and do things. Some people value money because they can save and build a nest egg. Some people value money for the love and connection. They could buy presents for friends. How do you value relationships? Like, use this time while you guys aren't in communication to really define how you value relationships so that it will help you with your overarching month of what is your no, what is your yes, so that you can start saying no to your no's, moving towards your yeses. All right, let's take a look at business. Ooh. Wow. My business owners, the money read, career read for people. This one is definitely, you got the 5 of Fire reversed. You got the Emperor reversed. You got the 10 of Fire upright. The 10 of Fire, remember I said I wasn't seeing any ending cards? The 10 of Fire is the ending card. It's over. So if you guys are trying to fundraise money to start a company, that idea is a no-go. If you are trying to pitch to your boss to enter a new market segment, that market segment is a no-go. It is a no. Because you got the Emperor reverse, so that can mean like lack of control, lack of self-discipline. It can also mean that you are like egoically trying to, no, marching ahead. We have to keep doing this. We have to keep doing this, kind of being stubborn about it. Like, this is the path. Because I know what they do for a lot of us, like millennials, like what they taught us is be confident, have an opinion, be so confident about it. So it can get you wrapped up in the, I need to be confident about this and fight for it at all costs. Guys, you got a big old flat out no. It's not going to work. It is not going to work out. It is not going to work out the way you want it to. It's not going to work out in a good way for you. It's not going to feel good the way, if it does work out, it's not going to feel good for you. Yeah, so whatever business, if you're trying to start a company, now's not the time. If you're trying to get a loan from a bank, now is not the time to get money to get a loan for it. It might also mean for some of you, you will have to, it's time to close your business. That's a big decision, guys. Wow, that's huge. Because the Five of Fire upright is like competition, conflict. When it's reversed, it means sneaky, it means snide, it means backstabbing, it means passive aggressive. The Emperor reverse is lack of control. There's just like power struggles, toxic work environments. The Ten of Fire is it's over. It's kind of like a raging forest fire. You as one man with one hose, no. That's this, no. Wait until you get a team of like 1,000 people, some with helicopters, some with bigger hoses, 5 people per hose, 100 hoses, you know, like that was just not the, man, I'm sorry for those of you. Whew, comment below, guys. Let me know, what were you trying to do? What was going on? It's just a big flat out no. I've never seen spirit be that concise, guys. So that means it's pretty serious. Let's go ahead and glance at your, that was such a concise message. Let's just move on to spiritual growth. Spiritual growth, okay. You got the Six of Earth reverse. That kind of indicates that there's like a lack of balance, which makes sense because that is Earth suit is also Pentacles, so like money. And if you got a big old flat out no in your business area of life, your money area of life, it looks like there's just like a little bit of imbalance right now. That kind of a lot of your energy right now and your time and your effort does need to go to kind of sorting out and balancing out your human level life, you know. Because for you to have spiritual growth, you need to have a clear mind so that you can hear your spirit guides, right? If you're worried about how you're going to pay rent, if you're thinking about that fight with your coworker, with your boss, with your employee, you don't have a clear enough mind to like hear spirit. So you really need to balance your emotions out on the human level side of things, the relationship, the work. You kind of have to like take care of like your base needs. What's that guy? I think it's Maslow's hierarchy. But there's, you know, the base need is safety, security. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have heating and cooling? Do you have food? Until you have that taken care of, guys, there's no point of doing any kind of spiritual growth. Okay, so you need that balance, but then you got the Six of Water reversed, followed by the Ace of Fire upright. So it kind of looks like don't waste your time in the good old days. Don't waste your time trying to go back and resurrect the past. Guys, there are always new spiritual practices. I tend to pick one for like 3 months, 6 months, a year, and I just practice that one. And then once you master that, there's always going to be something new to learn. It's not, man, but 6 months ago I was able to hear my spirit guides. If you can't hear your spirit guides right now, honey, tend to the human level stuff first. And then go, okay, I'm ready to hear my spirit guides again. I now have like the peace of mind and the clarity for that. Because your spiritual growth, there's going to be a new way for you to grow. You got to like let go of the past and how you used to do in the past. So you got to figure your human level stuff out, okay? You got to let go of how you used to tend to your emotions, how you used to have spiritual growth, because there's like a new path ahead for you for spiritual growth. So, spirits, just be open. Couple weeks for some of you, a couple months for some of you, of a new way for spiritual growth. Kind of like people who switch from Christianity to New Age, or New Age to Christianity, or voodoo to hoodoo, or hoodoo to law of attraction. There's going to be kind of a big up level shift for you. So just be prepared, be open-minded when new opportunities come your way. Well, damn, Scorpio, kind of seems like you're just getting hammered this month. Comment below what is going on. All right, I love you guys. Don't forget, you can go to kellylunt.com/high vibe. I have a membership club now open, and that's where if you guys like these monthly reads, we deep dive so much more in there. And I got 2 levels. I got the do-it-yourself level, and I got the interactive level. The do-it-yourself, you get access to This month is the soft launch. Next month is the hard launch. So this month, if you enter early bird, you can get the $99 interactive level for just $1. The do-it-yourself level is $12.99, and you're going to access to, by June, I will have the hundreds of hours. Right now, I've got about 15 hours up there for you guys. Hundreds of hours of content of spirit speaking on every topic, from starting a business to leaving a relationship to getting love. Every topic in there. So if you want to deep dive and at your own pace at your own time, join at the do-it-yourself level, kellylunt.com/high vibe. If you want the interactive level where you get all of that plus a live workshop every single month, so you get to interact with spirit directly, $99. Again, enter early bird for the first month to receive it for $1. And you also will get updates from me, my personal life, what I'm going through, what I'm doing, where I am. You get to hear about my travels. And you guys also get to submit questions that will help guide future videos I make. So if you have a question on, here's guilt I'm working through, I want help with it, submit the question. I'll put it in the queue to make a video on that. All right, I love you guys. Good luck, Scorpios. Comment below. Let me know what's going on. Mwah.